Bello on the bello on the bello.
Alright, man, I done fucked around and recorded I recorded like a good 15 minutes worth of this shit. Not even realize the damn microphone was even plugged up. So I done went all in, bro. I had a good ass intro and everything, and my stupid ass was like, hold on. Fucking mic ain't even. I was like, bro. So I had to restart all over again, bro. I'm telling you, bro, recording, bro, is the easy part. But sometimes I do be forgetting to do like little shit, like plugging the fucking mic. But the editing part, man. It is Friday. It is Friday. It is Friday. Happy motherfucking Friday. Thank God. It is time to drink. Listen, man, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, goddammit. So I'm gonna get my little sip on. I'm off today. I got a job, and I ain't got shit to do. But talk shit to y'all. So good morning, goddammit. Wake up, get your punk ass up. You got shit to do. You got money to be made, and you got things to handle. So let's get this damn thing started. Welcome to the Daily with Larry show. And I'm tired, but I'm here. And I appreciate y'all for coming through, having to sit down and talk with me about some bullshit and whatnot I collectively came up with, or whatever. But nah, this episode, I just want to get into a few little things that I've noticed and seen this past week. And getting into politics, I want to talk about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has made some funny comments about Governor Greg Abbott at the human rights event. And it was just pretty interesting, you know what I mean? I thought it was funny. Some people some of the folks thought it was rude and not, funny. And, people can have their right to feel their way, but I personally thought it was funny. So let me just show you what she said specifically. Take a look.
Because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
Hot Wheels is crazy. That's wicked, right? Hey yo. Hey, let me tell you something, bro, about Jasmine. She don't play around. She does not play around with them folks up there. Let me tell you, when she wants to give her opinion, she gives it. When she wants to speak, she speaks, and she don't let nobody overtalk her, and she don't back down from nobody. But Hot Wheels is crazy. Like, she always be getting into it with Marjorie Taylor. What was she called her,
Beach blonde, had built Bush body. Beach blonde, had built Bush body. Beach blonde, had built Bush body. Bush body. Bush body. Bush body. Bush body.
Bad built, blonde, beach, something. I don't know, bruh. But that woman got a mouth on her, and she does not play. But I respect her though, because she don't let shit fly with nobody. She definitely gets her point across, and she does not take no shit from nobody. She don't be playing. Another thing I've seen is it's like every time I turn on the news, man, I see some other shit, and I'm like, bro, here we go again. So now Trump has signed an executive order. Is it executive order? I gotta go back and look. I'm so sorry. So now Trump has signed an executive order, right, to rearrange some things with the Smithsonian African American Museum. And what they want to do is go in there and change stuff up, switch some things out, whatever. And personally, I think that what they're trying to do is whitewash what they've already done in the past. And if you look back into history, they've done it multiple times. I mean, look, they already taking Black history out of the books. You know what I mean? Out of history books in school. You know, they already tried to take away the training program with the Tuskegee Airmen program, but luckily they put it back. So it's little shit like that, you know, that they collectively do to try to erase Black history, just like this new thing with the DEI thing, you know, as another word for nigga, you know, removal of niggas in the workspace, you know, and removal of, you know, Black products off the shelves like Target, you know, with that bullshit. And I'm so glad that our folks is finally stepping up. And I know in history we always want to boycott some shit for a day or two or three and then go right back, to buying the shit that we boycotted. But this time I think Black people's taking it seriously. Because Target has lost billions of dollars since the whole DEI thing came about with Target dismantling that from their company. So I'm so proud of my people for standing on business when it came to that. And you know, it boggles my mind because you know the African American Museum is such a great museum. If you haven't been, please go. And then on that note, um, there's a lot of history in there, a lot of history. You know, dating back to all the way to the 1600s. Um, but that's only surface based level history of the or only surface based Black history. If you really want to get into the nitty gritty of Black history, bro, that shit goes deep. That's just the tip of the iceberg, but that shit goes deep. There's so much to Black history that a lot of people don't know about. You know what I mean? Like they don't even know that back in the 1930s that the Ku Klux Klan was kidnapping children and babies from Black families and then tossing them babies into a river full of alligators. You know how much of a heinous crime that is? Do you know how evil you gotta be to take a baby, a child, and toss them into a river full of alligators and sit there and watch them alligators tear a child apart? You know what I mean? That's beyond evil. That's just the devil right there. You know what I mean? There's no working shit out with people like that. You know, they have a history of destruction. You know, the Tulsa massacre, where we had a full Black town full of Black people only, thriving in a racist nation. Black businesses, Black banks, Black hospitals, Black general stores, Black doctors, everything just Black and beautiful and gold. And what they come and do, burn the shit up. Same thing with Rosewood, another town that they burnt up. I believe that was back in the 1910s or 20s or something like that. I gotta get the dates right. But, you know, they have a history of doing shit like this, you know? And I try to preach to my folks all the time that you gotta study your history, man. You got to study your history to know where you're going in the future, to know your future, to know the battles that you're going to deal with upcoming. You know, I see too many of my folks just be cool and just want to parlay all day. Not bash my folks, you know, not doing that, but I'm just speaking on stuff that I observe. And a lot of our folks, you know, we and I'm not gonna put all the blame on folks, but we're so passive on a lot of stuff, man. There's so much knowledge out there that we so passive. You know what I mean? Excuse me, that we don't take advantage of. You know what I mean? What they say that if you want to hide something from a nigga, you better off putting it in the book. They don't just say that just to say that. That is real facts. There's a lot of information that could be useful to our race in the book. You know what I mean? And a lot of times our people get distracted by the visual things, you know what I mean? Especially in the 80s with the crack epidemic, you know, just tore through all the nations in the Black communities across the country, America at that time. And at that time, they called it Ready Rock. It wasn't even crack or anything like that. It was called Ready Rock. And when it first came on the scene, a lot of dudes got locked up for it, but they couldn't get charged for it because it wasn't illegal yet. The government didn't even know what it. Well, that's a whole nother story. But the local, the local governments within each states, the local police departments and everything else, they couldn't prosecute anybody for it because there wasn't a law for it yet. And back in 1983, and then a year later, 1984, that's when the whole heavy crackdown, the whole heavy thing came down on crack, where they was locking niggas up, arresting people and all. You know what I mean? So we get distracted, we get pulled away from our mission because, you know, they plant little shit like that in our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? You know, it's really sad that we got to watch shit like this. But anyway, I'm rapping. Here's a video of Godfrey giving an explanation on the Smithsonian Museum. Take a look.
Newsflash! More racism! Yeah! Trump is signing, I guess he's trying to sign some bill to do something about this African American museum, because they're talking about like changing all the Smithsonian back to their normal, I guess, American history that we are used to. So of course they're focusing on the African American Museum of History. First of all, the African American Museum is amazing, okay? It really is amazing. I've been there 4 times, went through it 4 times. And the good thing about it is I studied a lot of it, so I knew a lot of it already. It's really beautiful. And if you look at the museum, if you ever go to DC, it's the only brown Smithsonian. It stands out. Most of the buildings in DC are very white, especially that monument that looks like a white dick. Yeah, actually, they got that from Egypt, actually. But anyway, but all the other buildings are white. The Capitol, the White House, all of those other buildings are white. But except for this African American Museum, which is kind of shaped differently and it's very brown. So he wants to change whatever's in there. Well, I hope they're in for a big ass fight, because what the fuck are you going to change? What are you going to change? Because all of this stuff in there is facts. And by the way, the African American Museum, that is actually lightweight shit. All right? That's actually lightweight to the atrocities that whites have put upon African Americans. And I'm talking about black Americans. I'm talking about foundational black Americans. The atrocities in that museum aren't all that is shown. It's actually lightweight. Historically, whites have done worse to black people. Actually, you're leaving a lot of shit out. I don't give a damn if it's the movies Amistad, fuck it, Roots, Django, all those slave movies. That shit is the lightweight version. In fact, if they actually showed what really happened to slaves, nobody would be able to watch it. Not even black people. Nobody would be able to watch what the fuck has happened to black Americans. Nobody. And even colonization. Nobody would be able to show what has happened to Africans and colonizations, what Europeans have done to Africans, which is beyond atrocious, which is unfucking fathomable and unforgivable. And the fact that black people around the world have got to be the most forgiving people on the fucking planet. That is a fact. The shit that has happened to black men and black women, physically, mentally, spiritually, I'm surprised we're not going around taking people's heads off, because we don't do shit like that. Because black folks, I'm just keeping it 100, you know, in science, the African is 100% human, and the European is 97% human and 3% Neanderthal. Go look it up. We're the most forgiving race. I'm sorry. Black folks didn't do anything to you. Black people didn't do shit to you. Don't talk about that black on black crime shit, because you all commit more crimes than we do. Don't come and deflect me with that bullshit, because this is getting ridiculous. So I'm coming with this intense video because it's getting ridiculous. I knew this was going to happen. See, once they were like, okay, they were like, let's get rid of all the Latinos, dog the women. I knew it. Black people are always on the list as the #1 problem. The people who built the country, and everybody took advantage of black sweat, blood, and tears. Everything was always, we got to get black people. Everything, every move they made, DEI, everything was, even though white women, and we all know this, white women were the ones that benefited from DEI. DEI was always about these goddamn blacks. You always had a problem with black people all the time, whatever it is. And what's really funny is, how come you're not rolling back the NFL or the NBA? I'm not insulting any of the athletes, but how come you're not rolling back that? Why don't you make that all white? Make NFL and NBA all white, and we'll get our own leagues, and we can always like have an annual competition. You haven't touched sports yet. You want black people to run up and down these fields and courts and sweat their asses off, but you haven't. I'm trying to understand this. Why are you trying to fuck with the African American Museum?
See, y'all see that? You know what I'm saying? Now they didn't turn the word woke in another word of saying nigga. You know what I mean? But appreciate my dog Godfrey for giving out the information, bro. He always on it, bro. He always preaching Black history. You know, I watch his podcast all the time. And out of anybody else, he's like one of the few Black podcasters that really put a focal point on Black people, Black trauma, Black issues, and Black history and Black prosperity. So you got to give it up to Godfrey. I think he's so underrated as a comedian. He's a hella funny guy, and a lot of people sleep on him for real. So shout out to my dog Godfrey for always standing on business when it comes to Black exploitation and Black history and Black prosperity. Now, moving on to the tariffs.
Tomorrow, the United States will implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations. It's been a long time since we even thought of that. But we will charge them approximately half of what they are and have been charging us. So the tariffs will be not a full reciprocal. I could have done that, yes, but it would have been tough for a lot of countries who didn't want to do that. I'd like to see the chart if you have it. Could you bring it up, Howard? This is our great Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. Thanks, Howard. So if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset? They will be, because we never charge anybody anything, but now we're going to charge. European Union, they're very tough, very, very tough traders. You know, you think of European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see. It's so pathetic. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%, so we're charging them essentially half. Vietnam, great negotiators, great people. They like me, I like them. The problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff.
Trump has signed another executive order that went into effect, I want to say, on the 3rd, and it has caused a frenzy across the nation, across the world, across the pond, across businesses. You know, I heard that Nike has lost billions of dollars just because the tariffs alone has spiked. The percentage has spiked, and you know, a lot of the materials to make these shoes come from overseas. Matter of fact, a lot of their shoes is probably built in or put together in some country of Indonesia or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I've been following it for a little bit, and the list of countries that came out with the percentages of terrorists is insane. From what I'm looking at, we got China at 67%, Europe at 39%, Vietnam 90%, Taiwan 64%, Japan 46%, South Korea 50%, India at 52%, Thailand 72%, Switzerland 61%, Malaysia 47%, Cambodia 97%, United Kingdom 10%, South Africa 60%, Brazil 10%, Bangladesh 74%, Singapore 10%, Israel 33%, Chile 10%, Australia 10%. So I can go on. There's a whole bunch of countries on this list that got high percentage on the tariffs. And what does this mean for the United States of America, for the citizens of America? It means that a recession is boiling over the pot and is going to explode into the depression at this point, because the way it's looking that Donald Trump is tussling with other countries. Now, what he's saying is he's trying to bring back the business. He's trying to bring the businesses back into the country, so that creates more jobs for the people that's already here. Understandable, but at the same time, to go about it like this is not the way. You talking about the food prices is increasing, the materials increasing, buying a car increasing, buying clothes, anything that you use on a daily basis is going to increase, which is going to cause less money in your pocket. You're going to pay out more money for the normal things you already regularly buy. You're going to get more taxes taken out of your money, taken out of your check every week or every 2 weeks or whatever how your pay period is. So we're looking at a recession possibly leading to a depression if things doesn't change quickly. And looking upon these things, it boggles my mind. And not to get in anybody's business, but I've noticed that a lot of people who voted for Trump has been very quiet lately, because he promised that everything is going to go down as far as prices and stock prices and everything else, percentages, and interest rates going down, so stuff like that. And those promises don't look to be promised or held kept at all. So it boggles my mind how nobody is alarmed about this. The country should be in an uproar about this type of stuff, because it affects the everyday working person more than anybody. It doesn't affect the millionaires and the billionaires as much. There's always some new policy coming out where it gives them benefits on tax cuts and shit like that, and makes the everyday working man, everyday working woman, pay more taxes. And it's like we all be paying enough taxes as it is. I pay enough tax as it is, and I drive down the street and there's a big ass pothole in the ground. Where's my tax money going? There's homeless people every other goddamn corner. Where's my tax money going? Why isn't my tax money being put an establishment together to help these homeless people? And the reason being is because helping homeless people doesn't make money. So we're not going to fund something that doesn't give us a return. That's the whole point of capitalism. I fund this so I can return something. So I can get something in return. I get nothing in return by helping homeless people or anybody of such matter. You know what I'm saying? So this should raise a lot of flags for people. Please do your research. You know what I mean? Because in the next 6 months to a year to 3 years is going to be crazy. And he's already talking about running for a third term. How was that possible? Right? It's crazy. The 22nd Amendment prevents a president from running a third term. You know what I mean? But that from this case on, it looks like he's just switching up everything. He's changing up the Constitution like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? He's literally speaking like a dictator. He's doing stuff like a dictator. And he got Elon Musk with the Doge policies and everything else, whipping and running around the goddamn White House, signing executive orders and doing this and cutting that, taking people's jobs away. Now, do I think that there's a lot of things that has been going on that a lot of people have gotten away with? Yes. But that doesn't mean you make cuts without a future plan in place. You can't just cut something and be like, okay, we're good now. That's not how it works, man. So I want y'all to pay real close attention to what's going on, because I'm telling you, the way I see it, America is going to be ran under a dictatorship in the next 5 years if shit don't change. But you ain't hear that from me, though. Anyway, trying to tell you, man, you got to keep your eye out for this shit, man. Keep an eye out. And then I also seen that he also made he made a $5 million bill with his face on it, and saying that an immigrant can use one of these to buy themselves back into the United States of America.
$5 million. For $5 million, this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. And then, you know what that card is?
Gold card.
It's the gold card. The trump card, gold card.
Who's the first buyer?
Me. I'm
Who's the second?
first. I don't know.
I'm not gonna speak no more about that. It's wicked. Anyway, moving on into sports. Covering the Bulls versus the Lakers game, with the Bulls winning with a 2-point lead over the Lakers with the 119 versus 117. Now here's the crazy part, right? I'm gonna show you the clip, but the last 10 seconds of that game between LeBron, Cody, Giddy, and Austin is wicked. Take a look.
12 seconds left. Bulls have to
Coming in with Williams shooting the 3, closing the 5-point lead above the Lakers. Now the lead is scored with the 113-115 Lakers. Giddy gets a steal from LeBron, passes it to White. White bucks for 3, giving Chicago the 1-point lead over the Lakers.
White, Sub-Zero, bang, bang, bang.
What a wild sequence! And the Cardiac Bulls.
That's crazy. That whole play had LeBron shook. He sat there just looking clueless and lost as a motherfucker.
I can't believe it.
Ain't know what to do.
Bulls. Everybody thought it was over. It's never over. Never. Not with this.
Doncic took the final shot before that. Here's Reeves. Reeves straight to the cup. Lays it in to take the lead. Bulls are out of timeouts. 2 seconds left. Giddy for the win. Go!
My God! I cannot believe this.
That last 10 seconds of the game was crazy. Them to come back from a 5-point lead and do all of that and win over a 2-point lead. Man, come on, bro. That shit, you don't see shit like that every day. You feel me? That shit's
Somewhere in
crazy.
Australia, Sydney, or Melbourne, Paul Hogan and somewhere Crocodile Dundee. Oh, Lord.
You may never see a wilder sequence than you just saw in the final 10 seconds. And Josh Giddey from down under beats the Lakers at the horn.
This is unbelievable. Bulls Nation.
Closing out the game, we got Cody White with 26 points, 3 rebounds, and 9 assists. Field goal 9 for 20. Then we got Austin Rivas. For 30 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, shooting for 10 for 17. And LeBron with 17 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, shooting for 8 for 20. What a motherfucking game. Now, moving on to my dog, Deion Sanders, with a new 5-year, $54 million contract extension with Colorado. Now, I'll tell you what, you can't say shit about Deion. Not a damn thing. Dog been running up the skull. Up the skull.
I'm a divorced father, but I didn't stop fathering. One custody of my kids, and I never stopped fathering. By myself, working at CBS and working at the NFL Network, never stopped fathering. So I've been there the whole time. So no matter what life presents you, don't stop doing what you've been called to do. Never stop fathering. I built my life around my kids. The moves I made was based on my babies, not me. It was based on what was good for them. So I take pride in that. Ain't no baby daddy. I'm a father.
Come on now. Come on now. You preaching.
Now, breaking down his new contract, this man is going to make $20 per minute, $1,200 per hour, $29,589 per day, $207,000 per week, and $900,000 per month for the next 5 years. Y'all give a shout out to my dog Deion Sanders for the one time. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Let me tell you something, bro. You can't knock a real hustler. As many times people try to tear him down and for leaving the HBCU to go to Colorado, look what he's doing, bro. He's supporting himself for his family, his 2 sons, all that money. You know, Schrader already said where my cut at. You know what I'm saying? But no, shout out to my dog Deion for that. Moving on to this lacrosse game I came upon, and these 2 dudes were just going at it. But I only watched lacrosse. Like, I've never ever in my life watched a game of lacrosse ever. But I seen this shit the other day, and I thought this shit was funny. Take a look.
Now Thomas Whitty heads up off the bench, big hit. And now Belter goes right at Elijah Gash. We got a tilt. Gash and Belter throwing haymakers. Gash gets his helmet off. Belter goes with him. They're dropping the gear. Here we go.
He's slow nigga, dog. He hurt like a motherfucker. Right. He can't even get up, bro. His thick dog got his ass. He got his ass in the air. Oh my. Speaking of fighter, we got the Timberwolves and the Pistons going at it. And this all started because Nas Reed was going up for a lay. Then Ron decided to give him a little foul. Then they somewhat get into it. Then out of nowhere, Dante just come and shove the shit out of Nas Reed. Like, give him a little neck check. And that's where everything motherfucking broke loose. Take a look.
Holland was a really good high school player. Good fit.
Reed turned the corner and is fouled by Holland.
Man, oh, come on now.
Stevens, big time brawl now in the front row. It's going to take a lot to break this up.
You got to stay out of the crowd. This is not good.
This has been building on the last handful of possessions.
Like, why? Like, why Dante just with the shits? Any white dude with the name Dante is not to be fucked with. And as you can see, this motherfucker didn't waste no time going after. This motherfucker didn't waste no time going after Holland. He just instantly came over there and shoved the shit out of him. Like, he was not with the bullshit. That's a dangerous white man. Leave that motherfucker alone. Like, instantly, soon as Reed and Holland got into it, Dante seen, he was like, "Oh, what's that over there? What? You fucking with my dog?" And instantly went over there and just stirred up the pot, dog. If you see a white boy named Dante, get the fuck out that nigga way. He's not to be fucked with. You feel me? But dog is a wicked man. That's a wicked man. Now, closing out that game, we got the Timberwolves at 123, closing out with the Pistons at 104. We got Beasley with 27 points, 0 assists, and 2 rebounds, shooting for 8 for 18. All the while, Julius Randle coming in at 26 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, shooting at 9 for 18. Oh man, let me tell you, I seen some funny shit the other day, right? Yo, this nigga Charleston White. Oh, let me get damn Mike. This shit just be. I gotta get another boom. This shit just be slowly lowering as I trying to record this shit. So fucking annoying. But anyway, I seen a little quick video of Charleston White. I think it was a Zoom meeting or some shit, and somebody just kept taking his videos and joining a Zoom meeting full of different people, older folks, shall I say. And it was just so fucking funny, bro. That shit was hilarious. Look at this shit, man.
Intentions of doing the New Year's things, and then sometimes the emotions just get to the best of us.
Nigga, I told y'all talking with that hanging nigga. Y'all don't give a damn about no. have no dick in his hand. Yo, Tommy, I don't give a damn about typing to no nigga with no dick in his hand.
In the Midwest, and they were talking about doing regional ones. It's $65, and that includes your dinner, so it's not expensive.
And the beginning away free pussy, so your little brother and sister drinking cereal with milk. I don't know how to make bacon. You ain't waking up eating no more bacon. Your mama's house ain't clean. You bitch done sold the food down and then gave away free.
Okay, let's get rid of him.
My favorite N-word is now no.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Okay. Well, before Mr. Big Dick Energy comes back on, let's
Okay, sorry,
you
one more
came over
thing.
here bothering me, funky. I didn't even know you existed until somebody told me you was that long foot that ran for a city council meeting. I remember when I looked at your shoes and your feet.
Okay, let's just ignore him. He's going in and out so fast I can't get in there to...
Tell you what, Lauren, if those guys ever come here in person, I'll kick their ass. No, wait, no, I'll be out in the parking lot. You guys can kick their ass.
Okay.
I'll gladly do that.
All right.
If one you beat me up, guess what I'm doing? Boy, I'm pressing charges like a mother. Man, I'm pressing charge, and then I'm taking my disability paper to the prosecutor's office so we can enhance the charges, because you jumped on a disabled person. A legally blind man.
Whoever, Big Dick Energy there is if it gets too distracting, I'll make another meeting, if you know what I mean.
I hope he doesn't ride into our meeting on a bicycle.
That's a good point.
All right, turning it over to...
Tell me a motherfucking thing. You got to kick my ass. And that don't even do no good.
All right, we're shutting it down. I'm going to set up a new one, and then I'm going to email to everybody. All right?
Bro, I know they wanted to call that nigga a nigga so bad, bro. I don't even know why they didn't do it. I mean, it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? But I guess because it's being recorded that they, don't want to, put themselves out there like that. But, bruh, watch him go up in that damn Zoom meeting and just disrupt everybody's shit. And just talk shit, and then it's not even a real video. It's just somebody else joining the damn meeting and posting his videos as him. The part when he was eating the bacon, he's like, nom, nom.
Wow, this is how we setting it off, huh? This is how we setting it off.
Well, hold on. Shouldn't have done that. That's a pause moment. That's a pause moment. I gotta clip that. Also, man, I wanna showcase this artist. What's his name? Lil Russell, L.A. Russell. I think it's definitely Lil Russell. L.A. Russell doesn't even sound right. But I come across his videos quite often. He's like one of those. He's a guy. He's a rapper from California. I want to say. I think he's from Los Angeles. I don't know exactly where he's from. So please don't get on my head top for not knowing exactly where he's from, but he's definitely from California, and he freestyles a lot. Like he got these shows where a lot of people show up and support him, and he'll just freestyle some positive music, and I love it, bro, because nobody else is doing stuff like that. Nobody else is doing what he's doing. Like his whole career is just based off betting on himself and just freestyling at any given moment, man. Like just listen, bro. Like just listen.
I quit my job to chase this dream, and y'all didn't hear the rest yet. After I quit, I slowly started losing like all my possessions. I walked outside one day and my car was gone, and I was like, damn, somebody stole my car. And then I remembered I stole my car. But I chose to invest all the money that I had left from leaving my job into my career. And I stand here as a human. I'm not no different. I just did this shit every single day, and now I'm in this position. You could do this shit every single day, whatever you want to do. Can I kick a little life rap? I said I used to roam the city in a GT coupe. Got repossessed, I was hurting. I quit my job, I was working. Invested in myself, I was certain, knew that I would blow. Took a risk, 5K into a show. I lost 1,500 at the door. So, see when you a boss, that's how it go. Man, I lost everything but hope. Talk about growth. On the deep end trying to float. Felt like I'm in the snow without a coat. Nigga, you ain't know. This the type of shit that they don't show when it's only 5 people at your. The bomb is getting worse by the day. I deeply empathize from my crib in the bay. I don't want to be another black box online. Fake fighting for their lives while I'm enjoying your mind. I thought about it deeply and I think it's finally time. Free all my niggas and free Palestine. I question what words could really do for them. If I won't grab a gun and go and shoot for them. I see the protests and try to root for them. Hoping that this war is not a boot for them. Something to step into on they off day. Not just to wear on they sleeve. Something to claim while niggas grieve. A freedom that we never may achieve. Look at my niggas that's still in chains. Look at my niggas that's still enslaved. Look at my niggas that's in the grave. All the roads revolution paid. The president invested in the war. They ran out of bombs, we gave them more. The ammo was low, we gave them more. Not hard to guess what it's all for. Mercy is all we implore. Scrolling my Explore, I see bodies on the floor. Bombed the hospital, man, they even bombed the morgue. I'm just asking what it's all for.
Man, that nigga cold, bro. You can't tell me dog cold. And my bad, he's from the Bay Area. I didn't get that at first. But yeah, man, like somebody like him, bro, you can speak positive in your raps and you can give out just positive energy within your wordplay, man. Ain't nobody doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm to the point now where I like listening to positive shit. Now don't get me wrong. I still got my gangster shit and all. Like I like listening to some hood shit. You feel me? But every now and then you gotta turn on some cool positive shit. And like to me, he's like I don't even want to say that because it's not even the same. But some of his songs that he put together is such in a poetic, elegant way. But it's smooth and cool. Like that shit lit. You know what I mean? It's almost like he's like not a modern day Tupac because it's different because you know Tupac had a different aura and style with it. But just like the early days of Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Like Brenda's Got a Baby and Keep Your Head Up. Those type of songs, you know, those power uplifting songs. And he does the same thing, but in his own way, in his own form. So you got to give it up to somebody like that because it ain't too many niggas that's doing stuff like that. And if they are, they just not put on the spotlight like that. So I definitely want to see more artists put out more positive music. And positive music can still be cool. Like it doesn't have to be corny like most niggas make it out to be. You know what I mean? Like gospel rap and stuff. Now I personally don't listen to gospel rap. Like I be trying and you know it's like it's cool. It's cool, but I don't think it's for me. But I still get the word in by reading my Bible. You know what I mean? But excuse me. But yeah, man, like shout out to Lil Russell, shout out to the Bay Area. Y'all got one out there. Y'all got a solid artist out there. And all of this is independent. Like he ain't signed to no label. He ain't got no deal. This is something that he dreamed of one day and turned it into a reality. That's what I'm saying. No matter where you are in life, no matter what you think you can't do, you can do. There's so many things that I thought of that I brung into fruition because I really focused on it. I really wanted to do it. And I put my time and effort into it. And to watch this man start, you see what he said? He had a GT coupe. It was repossessed. He had quit his job so he can go all into his passion. And look where he's at now, making his own money, supporting himself and his family, got shows and everything else, people coming to support him. Like, bro, when you really want to tap in, you really got to tap in, like really tap in with yourself, what you really want to do. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of lost souls out here. There's a lot of souls that died on and never found their full potential, never reached their full potential because they didn't bet on themselves. And that's really the reason why I wanted to post this, because it's betting on yourself. If nobody else is going to bet on you, you got to bet on yourself because you only get one life, one ticket. There's no redoing over. There's no going back in time to change. Nah. Every day that you go to bed and pray, and hopefully God allows you to wake up is a day gone that you can't get back. You can't bring back yesterday's in today. You know what I mean? So today's the day. Time is not. If you want to start something, you want to do something, do it today. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck how hard it's going to be. Pause. Do it today. Put that time and energy and effort into it. Like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though this is not a lot, I still put a lot of time and energy and effort into this. You know, I've been doing this podcasting thing for what, 2-3 years now? About 3 years? Yeah, about 3 years. You know what I mean? And I could definitely be bigger where I'm at now because I took little breaks in between and all that. But at the same time, I still put the time and effort into doing something I really want to do. You know, I got my regular stuff that I handle business on one side, but then the time I got left, I put it into this. Every day, I utilize my time for something. You know what I mean? Whether if it's a little bit of effort or a lot of effort, but any type of effort into and putting it into something that you really believe in. Do it. Please do it. I'm telling you, it's going to pay off. And a lot of people will give you their opinions and their doubts, and that's cool, that's fine. But you have to see that vision. You have to see that vision because nobody else is going to see that vision but you. You know what I'm saying? So stick to your guns. Stick to what you want to do. Keep God first and just hit the ground floor running. You know what I'm saying? Next, I want to move on to the word of the day. And I came across another video of this little boy just giving a word, a sermon, preaching. He's probably going to grow up to be a preacher one day. Like he like really gave a really good word. So take a look, take a listen.
See, when you come near me, you gotta be filled with the Holy Spirit. Now, I ain't just doing this because I'm on record. See, I do it to get the people enjoy themselves so they can have the steam in them. You got to be a presenting person in God. When you know that you are not doing right, you got to do right. When you're not doing wrong, when you're doing wrong, you got to know when you about to fix it and do right. Because the Lord don't change yourself. You have to change yourself to get the blessings. See, you gotta go to church. There's one way of being godly and one way of being the devil. See, what one would you rather? Would you rather try going to hell or would you rather go above? See, I'm coming from the style of Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. Why do we want? And we already have what we need because of the Lord. Yea, I walk through the valley of shadow of death. I will fear no evil.
The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not be in want. Man, that boy don't look no older than maybe 5 years old. That just tells you that the people he's around is fulfilling him with the word, positivity. No matter where you are in the world, if you got the right people around you, you will thrive no matter what. And I love how he breaks down of picking a side, what type of life you want to live, how you want to walk your life. You know what I'm saying? And you pick one side, you can pick the devil's side and do what you want to do out here and go do some wild stuff. Or you can walk with the Lord and live in righteous way and contain your blessings. You know what I mean? And when it comes to that type of stuff, man, and I'm not a judgy person, I'm not a preachy person. As y'all already know, I've spoken on this type of stuff before, even on my podcast multiple times. I've spoken on, briefly on my past and, me not being a perfect person and, having a certain walk of way of living. But, you know what I mean? It pretty much draws the line down the middle of how you want to live your life, bro. If you want if you want to accept the blessings from God, you have to allow yourself to accept those blessings from God. You just don't get those blessings just by waking up every day and just doing whatever. You know what I mean? You got to walk with God, and that is a choice. A lot of people don't choose that, but that is a choice. Now, I'm saying you got to be perfect. You're not supposed to be perfect. None of us is perfect. No matter where you are in life, God will accept you right where you are standing. but you have to be open you have to be open enough to allow him into your heart, your life, for you to make that transition. And don't get me wrong, the transition is not easy. It's very difficult when you got to let go of the worldly ways of the world and fall into the hands of the Lord. That's not an easy transition, but let me tell you, it's the best transition that you can ever have in your life. Speaking from personal experience, there's so many bad things and habits that I had about myself, years prior, until the Lord had to put me into a season where I just focused on him. And I had to look myself in the reflection and look at myself and say, what is something that you can change about yourself? What is something that you can improve? How can you get closer with the Lord? You know what I'm saying? And once I started asking myself those questions, I started dissecting myself and taking certain things about myself and putting it over here, and then taking other things about myself and putting it over there. And then by splitting that down the middle, I said, okay, here is all the garbage and trash about myself that I need to work and fix on to get rid of and throw out. And here is the things about myself that I need to work on to improve myself. So, when you allow God into your heart, it really changes your perspective on life. Like, you really wake up every day just enjoying to be, just glad just to be alive. I wake up every day thanking God every single day. Like I said before, I talk to God like I talk to one of the homies. I keep God with me everywhere I go. I keep God with me in my pocket like my phone. You know what I mean? And I got the Bible on my phone, so I can read the Bible at any given time of the day. I have Bible study every night at 8 p.m. for at least half an hour. Like, dedicated. You know what I mean? So, when I see people, suffering, no matter what their past is, I kind of feel some type of way for them. Because not everybody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. When you walk through that valley in the shadow of death alone, that is one of the toughest battles you can ever fight in your life. When it's just you, your bullshit, and God. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in certain situations, depending on what you've done in your past, God is not going to take you out the situation. But what he will do is walk you through it. Because there's a lesson for you to learn there. So that you won't turn back to that old way of living to get yourself back in that position where God is trying to save you from. A lot of times God be trying to save us from a lot of things, but we go out and do our own thing, ignoring his word, ignoring his signs. You know what I mean? You got to be open to when God talks to you too. God talks to us in multiple ways. But one way how God talks to us is one of the main ways a lot of people don't really know, is he talks to you through your gut, your spirit. That's why it's called the Holy Trinity, your mind, body, and soul. And when you get that gut feeling about something, that is God talking to you. That is a gift that everybody has, that a lot of people either don't know or don't realize that they have, or don't utilize it enough. That's your sign from the Lord is saying this is not it, or this is it. Make that decision. You get that little feeling in your stomach, say, I don't know about it. Trust it every time, bro. Just like when you take a test and they tell you your first answer is your best answer. Stick with your guns, bro. When you get that feeling in your stomach, stick with your guns. That's God talking to you. And when you listen to that, you can save yourself so much trouble in the future. I've ignored that sign from the Lord multiple times, and I got myself down a rabbit hole that I couldn't even save myself out of. I had to wait for the Lord to come and get me. And the Lord looking down in that hole be like, you wouldn't even been in there if you would have just listened to me. He gonna save you out that hole. But you're gonna sit in there for a while and think about what you did think about what you did that got yourself into that hole. You know what I mean? So shout out to my big dog God, man. You know, he always coming through for a dog at times when I just be like, Lord, please help a dog out, man. You know what I'm saying? But man, shout out to that young man preaching the word. Like he just talking like he's been here before. Like his soul sound like he has been on this earth before. You feel me? So shout out to him. Also, I got another clip I want to show y'all with Ray Man speaking on faith. Take a look.
Only way you can learn about self-love is you got to go through the storm. We all know God will put you through a storm, and he wants you to always remember that you got to have faith in this storm, because things don't happen to you, they happen for you. No matter how it looks, no matter if your leg got cut off, you got to look at it, okay, God, my leg is off. Why is my leg off? I'm going to have faith on the next journey you're going to have me with one leg. You can't get discouraged. So I went through a lot of storms. But the best thing I did, because I know we got to go or whatever, the best thing I did was cut out a lot of distractions for a better reception.
Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Man, that's so crazy when you say it out loud. And, you know, in the midst of everything, you be like, damn, bro, my whole life is falling apart. You know, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And what you may not see in that moment is God is removing things from your life to add better things to your life. A lot of people don't see it that way, but that's usually how it goes. Now, this doesn't include the people who's going out and do wicked, wild shit in the world. I'm not talking to y'all. This conversation doesn't include y'all. I'm talking to the folks that live a legitimate life who really, really does not. Ain't anybody perfect, but to the folks who really just stay out the way, man, and just don't bother nobody, who's kind-hearted and who's nice, and you know, who really you know, keeps God first. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to those people. You know, the people that do good by others as you should want toward yourself. I'm talking to those people. And sometimes you might go through a situation or season where God will, perfect example, Job. Job had a perfect life. He was living a great life, and then the devil went to God and said, "Hey, your servant Job, he only loves you because of the things you allow him to have. But I guarantee you, if you took everything away, his heart would change for you." And God said, "Okay, prove it. I'll prove it." And then, so God stepped away from Job, even though he still had his eyes on Job. But he stepped away from Job, and the devil came in and attacked Job like crazy. He lost everything, his possessions, his kids, his family, everything. Even Job's wife, his own wife, told him not to trust God. And he still stayed 10 toes down, believing in God. He had to go through that season, that storm, to prove to the devil that my servant Job does not back down from nothing. One of the most solid individuals that ever walked this earth. And the Lord gave him back everything else plus tenfold, because his faith was that strong. No matter what was going on in the outside world in Job's life, his heart still remained with the Lord. And because of that, the Lord has seen it, and the Lord said, "You know what? You have proved your love to me, so I'm going to give you back everything else that you lost, times 2. And once you start looking at your life, your situation like that, then you have a better understanding of what's going on and how to maneuver in it. Just like I said, He might not pull you out the situation, but he'll walk you through it. You know, faith is something that is faith is the thing that you cannot see. You can't see it, but you have to believe it in order to get to that salvation, in order to get through the valley of the shadow of death. You know? So always fight to have faith. It's not easy. I know. Trust and believe, bro. It be some days there's be some shit going on. And I just be like, come on, dog. Come on, Lord. What is this? I was having a good day, and then now this bullshit pop up. Like, what's up? Like, show me a sign. Show a nigga a sign of something, cuz. You know what I mean? But God always show up. Always. Like, I can even give you a little quick story of one time, this is a little while ago, maybe like 2-3 years ago, maybe. This damn mic, bro. Hold up. Okay. But anyway, okay, that's better. But anyway, about 2-3 years ago, I was going through a little situation where I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, that whole week was chaotic. And long story short, I had a court date coming up, and the court date that was coming up, it wasn't looking too good, and there was some shit going on. And so I went up there and called the court date to tell them I wasn't going to be able to make it, and if I can get a continuance. And I'm talking to the lady, the clerk, at the courthouse, and I give her my name, information, and everything else, just so I could let her know, so I could let her know to relate to the judge I need a continuance. So you know what I mean, because I won't be able to make it. And if for people who don't know, when you don't show up on your court date, they put a bench warrant out on you. So what happens is, if you don't show up, they put a bench warrant out on you. So if you ever come across a police officer and your name pop up in that system, you're going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, for folks, if you got a court date, please show up. If you can't show up, call in and ask for a continuance, but call in at least 2 to 3 days prior to your actual court date, because if you call in on the same court date, if you call in on the same day as your court date, they're not gonna do that. They're just gonna mark you as a bench warrant. They might, but I've never seen it happen. But anyway, so I'll call in to let them know I won't be able to show up, and they was like, "Oh, your case has been dismissed." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, your case has been dismissed. The officer, he didn't show up, and da 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 da." So my whole case was automatically thrown out. Like, this was a case that's gonna cost me some money. And just because the officer didn't show up, it was automatically thrown out. And I was like, yo, when I tell you God come through for a dog at times of need, when you need him the most, bruh, I knew right then and there at that moment, I said, God don't play. God don't play, so don't play about God. If God don't play about you, don't play with God. God gonna show up every time, and he gonna pull up every time when you need him the most. You know what I'm saying? And ever since that day, I was like, yo, bro, I gotta be locked in. I gotta be committed. And then that's when I went, full in, being committed. You know what I mean? I still got my flaws. I still got my ways. I ain't perfect. I'm still learning and all of that. I'm still myself, though. But I keep God here. I keep God close at all times, bro. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate those little clips and videos of people just speaking the word. And it ain't nothing but a testimony when you walking through that situation by yourself. It's a testimony to say for yourself that, you know what, bro, God did this for me. This wasn't me. This was God. God did this. I didn't do this. God did this. You know what I mean? He showed up for a dog, and he showed the fuck out. Excuse my expression. But that's how it be, man. So when you wake up in the morning, thank God. That's just for the people who are believers of the Lord. If you are not, that's your business. That's your personal business, whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? You don't understand just about waking up every day. is a blessing within itself. You know, I wake up every day and I'll be like, thank you, God, for letting me live another day to make myself better than I was yesterday. I start all of my morning prayers off like that. Thank you, God, for waking me up today to give me the chance and opportunity to make something better than myself or than I was yesterday. All my prayers start like that. All my morning prayers start like that. Because you gave me another shot to make my correction from yesterday. Even if I didn't do anything wrong from yesterday, I got another day to be I got another day. Excuse me, my fucking tongue got twisted. Pause. But I got another day to prosper. You know what I mean? Some people go to sleep and don't wake up ever again. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I started really looking at life different. Like I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been to a lot of funerals. You know, I've been to at least 15 plus funerals. I've been to court, and I'm not putting my personal business out there, but you know, just on a brief, you know, I've been to court over 20 some times. I've been pulled over by the police about 40 some times. So I've been through some shit. You know what I mean? And every time I've been through something, God was there. Even if I had to go through that fire, God was still there. So for him to wake me up another day, say, hey, son, make those corrections. I'm giving you another shot, another day to make those corrections. The only thing you can do is say thank you and make that move to better yourself and get closer with God, bro. That's it. So thank God every day that you're here. You feel me? Now, moving on to the bullshit of the day. My dog, Young Scooter, man, RP to the dog. He was murdered. Well, you know what? I don't even want to say murdered. You know what I mean? Because at first, when the story broke, it said that he was shot and killed by the police, which you know, that shit is still up in the air, but I don't know. But now the story turns out to that this woman, I don't know her name, I gotta get her name, but this woman that he had some situation with actually called the police on him. And when the police pulled up to his crib, he ran. I guess he got shook, ran out the back, and I guess somehow he hopped the fence. And then I'm assuming he had to tore his leg open, and it cut an artery, and he bled out to death. That's the story now. The original story that I heard was he got in a shootout with the police and he got shot. That's the original story. Now that they're saying that he hopped the fence, got his leg split open by the fence, and they cut his artery open. That's how he bled out. I don't know what the concrete facts are, but whatever it is, it's still fucked up because he died on his birthday, bro. And that's why I be telling, man, you know, women, bro, they can be dangerous, my nigga. Women can be dangerous. Not to bash y'all, but y'all can be dangerous. Y'all can put a lot of men into a dangerous situation over some bullshit because you feeling some type of way with your funky ass emotions because you ain't grown enough to handle that shit like a motherfucking adult. So now your stupid, simple, silly ass gonna sit in jail over some bullshit that could have been avoided because you want to be emotional over a situation that could have been resolved. Now, again, I don't know the whole story. I don't know the full situation. I'm just going off of what I've seen. But at the end of the day, man, women, y'all ladies, cut the bullshit. Stop getting men caught up into your shit because you feeling some type of way about some dumb shit. That man, and if that's the case, which I think that's the real case because she's arrested now, that man lost his life on his birthday because you want to be on some dumb shit. Some dumb petty shit. Bitches, you crazy? I hope you sit in there every day and really think about what you did. You know what I mean? But not to laugh or anything, bro, because this is a really serious matter, bro. Like, excuse me. You know, women pull this bullshit every day. And then when the fucking smoke clears and after the shit hit the fan, then they want to be like, oh. And the reason why they do this because nobody holds them accountable for bullshit that they do. Everybody just sweeps that shit up under the rug and they think it's okay. And I'm here to tell you it's not. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for nobody. That goes for a man or a woman. If you want to be on bullshit, that's cool, that's fine. But be on bullshit your own time and don't drag nobody else in the mix with your shit. There's too many people that wake up every day and enjoy sitting in a pile of shit. Too many. Nobody wants to make that change. Nobody wants to stand up and brush their shoulders off and say, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of being this way. I'm tired of acting this way. Let me start taking accountability for my actions, which is something that a lot of women do not do. You'd rather stir up some bullshit and create a whole chaos shit going on than just to admit that you were wrong or apologize. You see how dumb that shit is? You see how sickening that is? Now this man has lost his life because you want to make a false motherfucking police phone call, and this man lost his life because he think he's about to get arrested. Motherfucker, anybody knows that anybody in the hood knows that when the police come knocking at your door, it's time to get gone. You know what I'm saying? If you a street nigga, or if you dealing in the streets or any type of that, in any type of way of that matter, everybody knows that when the police come, it's time to get gone. Get the fuck gone. Don't stick around. Don't let them get close to you enough to even ask any questions. You get the fuck gone. That's that man's natural instinct. He probably even do nothing. But when the police come knocking, it's time to get gone, bro. That man was probably just trying to scared out his life, trying to get away. End up dying on his birthday. Shout out to school, man. Shout out to school. But I hope, I was about to say something real crazy, but reassured that she's definitely going to pay for that. She's paying for it now, and I hope they throw the book at her stupid ass. And then I want her to be the example of what happens to women when they are held accountable for the bullshit that they do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna talk no more, man. Just roll the clip with Scooter, man. For real. Shout out to my dog. R.I.P. to the dog, for real.
I'm a real nigga. Lick, hit a bitch, get her. Quick flipper. Pot, whip a dope dealer. Fly nigga. If pop off, I'm a ride nigga. Go yard. 100 racks inside.
See what I'm saying? Another free 10 today. Remember yesterday I had on the gray and red. This is different clothes. This is another money. This ain't even old 10. It really 83. Yeah. So 10. And then how many days we done went through in that month? Hold up.
Add that shit up. Count up.
19. So look, I done made 190,000. I'm working on Sunday. On Christ's Day. Yeah. I know.
Hard 220 stacks.
I just left Columbia. I can make my own bricks. I never witness a drought again. Black Migo gang. I could make cocaine. I just fell in love with a Cuban. I just left Columbia. Always making bricks, me and Hector. Teach them how to remix, gave me metric tons. Isabella, that's his little sister. She love me cause I know what them bricks do. I can serve you, I pull tricks too. But I can make cocaine. I promise you'll never see a drought again. I fly back to Columbia. I always make the $1 million run. I can make cocaine. I just fell in love with a Cuban. I just left Columbia. Now we get 'em in by the metric ton. I can make
cocaine. I just fell in love with a Cuban. I just left Colombia. Now we get them in by the metric ton. I can make cocaine. It don't take but 8 minutes to make a whole thing. But I be selling metric tons. You can cop one.
Man, I can make cocaine. I just fell in love with a Cuban. Man, what? A drug king, man. Stop fucking playing, man. RP to my dog, Scoop, man. We gonna miss you. And it's just unfortunate, man, that another rapper's life is gone due to some bullshit. So, RP to the dog. Now, last but not least, moving on, I want to show this little clip that I seen about ghosting, and I guess it's a little podcast that had the topic of ghosting, and is it okay to ghost? Take a look.
Can y'all guess what city has the most ghosters? Guess what city has the most ghosters? Can you guess it?
Chicago.
Nope. I'll give you a hint, Tom.
Houston.
No.
New York.
No. They call it Chocolate City. That's right.
Oh.
Washington, D.C. comes in at number 1 with 76% of residents admitting to ghosting someone. Now, the study conducted by Number Barn revealed that 54% of people often ghost due to loss of interest. 28% ghost due to red flags like dishonesty, Kiki.
What?
And the study also discovered that 75% of singles have been ghosted, with men being slightly more likely to experience it than women.
Well, I
So
fully
I'll go
support ghosting. I fully support it.
I'm about to say, I was
What?
wondering if what you was gonna jump in and say.
Yeah, I completely support. Life is short. I don't have time to explain to you why I don't want to talk to you no more. Just figure it out. Come up with something on your own. I don't have time for this. We do a segment every morning on the Fred Show called "Waiting by the Phone," where people get ghosted. And when them people call up there, and then some of the reasons they have for ghosting people is very valid. So if you clipping your toenails at the table, if you take me home on the first date and you got a roommate and y'all sharing the same bedroom. Those are all very valid reasons. Okay. This is the stuff they call. This is the stuff they call the Fred Show about. You have a very valid reason to get ghosted. So I am fully for ghosting, and I'm the type of person. If I text you once and you don't respond, you ain't got to worry about me. You know
really?
I'm not double texting nobody. But I ain't double texting nobody but my DoorDash man. Okay, everybody else, I don't give a damn what y'all got going on. You don't want to respond to me, you ain't got to worry about me. So I fully support ghosting. Protect your peace, protect your energy, and block whoever you need to block. Okay.
Dang, not the DMV taking the number 1 spot when it comes to ghosting, man. Shit. So here's my take. Here's my take on ghosting, right? Personally, yes, I've ghosted before. I've ghosted multiple times, and that just comes with dating, I guess. I just chalk that shit up the game if somebody ghosts me. I don't really take it personal. And my personal take on it, do I think ghosting is okay? I don't know. I would say yes and no. And the reason why I say that is because I would say no is because as a grown adult, you should have enough sense to communicate properly and let the other person know you are no longer interested because whatever. If you specify a reasoning, that's your business. If you don't, that's your business. Because ghosting can leave somebody in the long run, confused. It's like, oh shit, like what did I do? You know what I mean? Like why they not texting me no more? Why they not calling me no more? Like did I do something wrong? So at least somebody questioning on, what they did and what they didn't do. And it can be a lot for some people. Some people don't take ghosting very well. They feel some type of way about it. Some people just don't give a fuck. Like myself, quite frankly, I don't care about ghosting. I don't really give a fuck if you ghost me. I've been ghosted. I don't care. It just lets me know that you and I are not going to connect. So you're doing me a favor and you're doing yourself a favor. So it's cool with me. Doesn't make me no motherfucker. Never mind. But some people don't like that. And for me, if I ghost somebody or when I go to somebody, it's just simply because I lost interest. It's like either the conversation's getting boring or you probably most likely said something that I didn't like. Or if I went on a date You know, the date was kind of like mid. It was like, okay, cool. Now I haven't ghosted in a long time. But the last person I ghosted, I actually went on a date with them. And little story time. I'm gonna make it a little short. But long story short, I went on a date with this person, and that's her mama told her to be back at the crib by midnight. Mind you, we are full grown adults. I'm walking into this date expecting one thing, not realizing I'm meeting her parents. For only her mother to tell her before we leave, she tells her, you need to be back by midnight. Because she stayed at home with her mom, and her mom, watched her child while we was gone. Oop. Yeah, so in my mind, I'm like, bro, ain't no way this shit is happening to me. Like, you got your mama telling you got to be back at the crib by midnight. What the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we in high school or some shit? So after we went on our little funky ass date, bro, I couldn't wait to drop her ass back off. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna happen again. She got her car. She's like, all right, I'll call you tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, do that. Number was removed before I even got home, bro. Funny thing is, like, maybe a month and a half later, maybe a month or 2 months later, right? I'm at a lounge, and I'm sitting at the bar, and somebody come and tap me on my shoulder. She's like, hey, and it's her, bro. It's her. And she just tapped me on my shoulder. She was like, hey, I haven't heard from you in so long. How you been? And it just threw me off because, mind you, I got my little LI in my hand. I'm just sipping away, just doing my own little thing, thugging and shit. And motherfucker, she come pull up on the dog out of nowhere and scared the shit out of me. She's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, shit. Hi. When I react like that, I'm like, what's up, mama? How you doing, baby? What's going on? And then, you know what I'm saying, we chit-chat for a little bit, and she was like, I haven't heard from you in a while. And I was like, listen, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. In my mind, I was saying this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not fucking rocking with this whole shit with you and your mama tell your mama telling you to come back at midnight and shit. Like, we grown folks. I just basically told her I had some other shit going on and I couldn't, you know what I mean? So I had to skate up out of there. And then she told me that she was working at a new place and I should come by and visit her one day. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. I ain't never go over there. I ain't never go there. But anyway, bro. That's the last time I ghosted somebody, and do I feel bad about it? Not yes and no, but it was just like, bro, there's some wild shit. What the fuck are we doing? We old as shit, and we up there going on a date for your mama to tell you to come back at midnight. I'm not doing this. Like, we'll be in high school or some shit. Nah, bro, fuck that. So I had to dog her ass off. I'm like, nah, I'm too old for this. I'm too grown for this, baby. Like, nah, mamas, you gonna have to find another nigga that can deal with that, cause it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. That's how that situation went. But yeah, man, ghosting at the end of the day, I personally think that it depends on the person, man. Quite frankly, for me, I don't give a fuck. If you ghost me, you ghost me. I don't care. But if you do ghosting, don't get mad if somebody ghosts you. You can't ghost people and then you find somebody that you really like and then they stop fucking with you and you feel some type of way. Can't do that because what you did to somebody else, ain't no motherfucking way I wasn't recording that. But yeah, man, my bad. I had a little technical difficulties here, but yeah, man, you can't get mad if you ghost somebody. If you ghosting people and somebody ghosts you, you know what I mean? That's how the game goes, man. Just like the drug game, man. You can't get mad if somebody, shorted you a little bit on the key and now your shit is cut different way, and then that's part of the game, bro. Or somebody snitches on you. It's part of the game. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, you want to retaliate, but it's part of the game, bro. Same thing with dating, bro. If you up there ghosting somebody and you get ghosted, same thing. If you rob somebody and somebody rob you, same thing. Whatever you put out into the universe, you will receive it right back. That's just how it goes. So be mindful of when it comes to ghosting and be mindful of people's emotions and shit like that. Because, at the end of the day, you shouldn't ghost. I'll put it like that. Do I care if somebody ghosts me? No. But should you do it? Probably not. So leave your opinions and comments in this so leave your opinions in the comment section below. And share a little short story if you go to somebody or somebody goes to you, and let us know how it played out. And then maybe I can, read your little comments up here and shit like that. I think that'd be, leave your little comments and leave your little stories in the comment section. I want to see what y'all be on, man. You know what I'm saying? Kind of ghosting y'all be doing. I'm definitely gonna read that shit up here too if I see it. But appreciate y'all for another week with your big dog Larry. I really love doing this, man. Thank y'all for showing up and showing out for my first debut episode of The Daily with Larry, and I really, really do appreciate my fans. I really love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. I will make sure I keep y'all updated with the latest in news, politics, entertainment, and etc. Thank you for tuning in for another episode at The Daily with Larry.